Good morning, students. Welcome to your English class. We were doing active and passive voice. Students, let us do a small recap of the topic that we did earlier. We know that there are two ways in which we can describe the action performed by the subject in relation with the object, and they are the active voice and the passive voice. In active voice, the subject does the action and the object receives the action. So the sentence structure is subject plus verb plus object. When we see it in passive voice, the action is performed on a subject on an object by the subject. That is, you have the sentence structure as object first, then a helping verb, then the past participle form of the verb, plus by and the subject. So here what do we understand is that there is no prominence given to the subject. We have two reasons why we use passive voice. First reason would be if you want to give less importance to the subject and focus more on the action and the receiver of the action. That is when you use passive voice. You also will use passive voice when you're not aware of the subject. When there is no subject also, we can use passive voice. Clear? Like, for example, Aditya repaired my car. Here, this this sentence is in active voice. Aditya is doing the action of repairing and the car is receiving that action. Whereas, my car was repaired by Aditya. Here, when you notice, my car is the object which is receiving the highest prominence in the sentence and followed by repaired. Aditya has got the least importance, and this sentence is in passive voice. Both means the same, but the emphasis is what is different. Now let us move on to change of verbs from passive voice in different kinds of tenses. Let us see each tenses one by one. How do we convert into passive voice? This is one of the main thing that you should know before even getting into tenses. How do you convert an active sentence, an active voice into a passive voice? We follow the 5-step rule. Step 1, you will identify the subject, the object and the main verb in the sentence. Second, you will swap the subject with the object and the object with the subject. Vice versa means the other way around. So you're going to swap the subject with the object and the object with the subject. That means the subject will go to the object's place and the object will come to the subject's place. But when you convert that, then your main verb needs to be converted into the past form. You have to add proper helping verbs of to be before the main verb. The next thing that we have to keep in mind is adding of preposition by. You have to add by before the subject. So that means you will have an object, you will have a helping verb, then you will have the past participle form of the main verb, and then you will have a by, the word by, and then the subject. Now let's move on to simple present tense. How would you do it? How would you change for simple present tense? How would we use it for simple present tense? Look at these sentences. Ridhima eats biscuit every day. This is in active and the whole sentence is in present tense. Ridhima eats biscuit every evening. Now, the same sentence, I'm writing it in a different way, that is in passive voice. That is, biscuits are eaten by Ridhima every evening. You get to know that biscuits is given the more emphasis, then are eaten. You've used are eaten, right? By Ridhima every evening. Helping verb is in present tense. If you notice, the are is a present tense form, right? Now you should solve question D and E of page 95. You just have to fill in the blanks with the proper form of, you have to use it in passive voice with the proper form of verb, which is very easy. You can just do it. Now let's move on to simple past tense. Look at the sentence. The artist sketched the portrait. This is an active, but it is a passive. It is a past tense sentence. It's a simple past tense used in the sentence. The next sentence is the portrait was sketched by the artist. If you noticed, I've used a helping verb, the main verb, then the by and the subject. The object, helping verb, main verb, and used by and the subject. This sentence is in passive voice. He packed the vases. This is in active. The vase was packed by the artist. This is in passive voice. The helping verb is in past tense. That's how you get to know that it is in simple past tense. The helping verb helps you to identify whether the sentence is in simple past or in simple present. If you understood this, then it would be easy to solve question F and G from page 95. Now let's talk about simple future. As the word future in English will convey one word that conveys future tense is will. Let's see a sentence. The old lady will distribute blankets among the needy families. This is a simple future tense sentence written in active voice. Let's see how this will be written in a passive voice. Blankets will be distributed by old lady among the needy families. This is in passive voice. See the usage of will be. To be form is used as will be. Distributed, the past participle form of the main verb is used, plus by plus the subject. So we have the object will be, that is the to be form, the right to be form, then plus the past participle of the main verb, and then by and the subject. Now I want you to solve question H and I of page number 96. I hope you understood the changing of verbs from a active voice to a passive voice, how the sentence has been changed from a passive voice to, from an active voice to a passive voice. All I want you to do is do your work sincerely so that you master the art of converting active voice to passive voice. Thank you, students. We'll see you soon. Until then, it's bye from me.